Welcome back to this new video here in SUALVI. In this video, as you have seen in the title, it's a super beginner friendly video. I'm going to show you how you can export your video in DaVinci Resolve. Why am I doing this video? I was looking through a forum and there was a bunch of people that were new to DaVinci and they were not sure how to export a video here because it might look a little bit complicated the first time that you open DaVinci Resolve. And it takes time and they might be looking for a quick guide for them to help them. So what you want to hear this is your rendering or exporting or delivery page. Here you have your timeline. These are all the individual clips that you have in your timeline are going to show up here, except the audio clips. Then here you have the render queue, which is if you add something to the queue. Let's say you want to render a few individual clips, you can do that too by rendering this clip only. Like you just select that and then you can just add that to the queue, for example. And that's in the case that you want to just render one clip. But here you can select these, move these sliders so you can sort of like cut and make a selection of what you want to render. And yeah, those are the first few things. So then the most important thing here, you can click these. It's gonna drop down this whole menu so you can see all the settings at once. Up here you have a bunch of presets. I personally never use them. I like to use them at custom, even for YouTube, because here you can actually see more options that you can see here. So what you want to do is here, a single clip it's gonna render all your timeline into one clip. If you do individual, it's gonna render each individual clip as individual video files on when you're exporting. For audio, it usually will leave it like as is, depending on the format. For format, you usually by default it's set up to QuickTime, if I'm not wrong. And what this does is actually gonna export a really big file. It's gonna export a bigger file. So if you want to upload to YouTube and not have it take a long time, like an hour, you might want to use the MP4 file because that would make the exported file smaller. For the frame rate, usually we'll leave it at 24, but that's up to you depending on what you're working with. For quality, this is an important setting. I think by default it's set to automatic. You can leave it at high or best, but sometimes if you want to upload it to YouTube or Facebook or any platform and you don't want to lose quality when they are compressed by them, you might want to increase this number to like 20,000 or 30,000. Yes, because that will make it a little bit because that will be a way to not lose quality when you are uploading your video. Then all these other settings I will leave as default. If you're just a beginner, I will leave them as default like they are, except one thing right here. If you have a timeline where you have a bunch of titles or transitions that you have already pre-rendered, by pre-render I mean you right click and then it says render output, and you will see the blue line right here on your timeline if they are already rendered. So if you click this option here, it will use those that have already been pre-rendered, and that way you avoid having to re-render everything, and that will be one way to save some time. And that is pretty much it. Then here you put the name, this is the location. They are pretty straightforward here. And then you add this to your queue. Here in your render queue, you can just select this file and start render. If you have a lot of things in your queue, you can just not select any and press render, and then it will just go through each one of them. One thing that I want to show you is right here you have this is an MP4 of this timeline, and this is a QuickTime version of it. You can see here the MP4 took only 14 seconds and this one took 16, and that's because of the format. Usually it will take a little bit longer to export QuickTime files, also the same way that it will take longer to upload them because they are bigger. So yeah, so that is pretty much how you would export a video in DaVinci Resolve. I hope that this quick guide helps you out so that you're able to not be as confused if it is your first time. And yeah, that is pretty much it. If you like this video, comment down below, let me know what you think of it. If it was too basic or if you want to know more about some other settings, let me know down below. I hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you in the next episode here in SUALVI.